Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome back to our Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 2 Remaster, Episode 3. Last time we took care of the Light and Dark Temples, and now we're going to make our way back inside the Citadel, which now we can, as you just saw. And we're going to hopefully travel into the past and get to speak to Janos Ordrin, who apparently is the only one who can give us some answers. Oh, jumped up a bit too early there. Apparently is the only one who can give us some answers as to what is going on and who we are and what the Reaver is and all these mysterious paintings of blue winged creatures we keep seeing strewn about the temples and other places. But yeah, that's what's on the agenda for today's episode. Hopefully we can get everything I want to get done today. Whether or not we actually manage to accomplish that is another thing, because this section does take a little while. There's a fair bit of story and fighting. For example, with these guys and gals, because there are some female warriors here. We ain't sexist. I didn't mean to grab that, but we'll go with it so we can get some health back. Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you. Get hiked. And give me that. Alright, let's take care of him quickly. There we go. And onwards we go. But yeah, we will be getting some more lore very soon. Last episode wasn't too lore heavy. We had the stuff with Vorador and little bits we figured out ourselves in the temple, but we do get some more actual cutscene lore very soon.
Show yourself, Kain.
Here, Raziel. Everything is decided here. You cannot comprehend the magnitude, the rapture and the tragedy of this moment. And yet you must. If Nosgoth is to be dragged from the wreckage of its damnation.
I understand only this, Kain. That you and Mobius have impelled me to this moment simply means I can trust neither of you. I don't know who's pulling the strings, but it no longer matters, because I'm cutting them. I set my own course from here.
If it were only that simple.
Your fatalism is tiresome, Kain.
And profoundly ingrained, Raziel. You must understand, our presence here doesn't alter history. You and I meet here because we are compelled to. We have always met here. History is irredeemable. Drop a stone into a rushing river. The current simply courses around it and flows on as if the obstruction were never there. You and I are pebbles, Raziel, and have even less hope of disrupting the time stream. The continuum of history is simply too strong, too resilient. Except, then how do we explain William here? The beloved boy king turned tyrant. In my youth, I witnessed William's rise to power and his transformation into the nemesis who laid waste to Nosgoth.
Keep your distance, Kain.
Years later, I stumble upon a chance to journey back in history, unaware that the entire affair has been carefully orchestrated by Mobius. In my wisdom, I seize this opportunity to murder the young king before he can ravage Nosgoth, and thereby provide the catalyst Mobius needs to ignite a genocidal war against our race.
I warn you, no further.
This one reckless act unravels the skein of history. The nemesis never becomes the nemesis. William dies a martyred saint. I, the vampire assassin, become the author of my own species' extinction, and Mobius profits from it all. I destroyed a tyrant only to create one far worse. But how can it be so? How, if history is immutable? The answer is here in this room, Raziel. Mobius propelled William and me together, but ensured first that we were both armed with the Soul Reaver. The Reaver is the key. Two incarnations of the blade meet in time and space. A paradox is created, a temporal distortion powerful enough to derail history.
Is this your sorcery?
Not mine, Raziel. Yours. You have nothing to fear from me, Raziel. You hold all of the cards.
Then perhaps I should test your sincerity. If what you say is true, you should be terrified. I could kill you here and now.
And so you do, Raziel.
What's happening?
We're hurtling towards our destinies, Raziel. What you feel is the pull of history rushing to meet us. This is where history and destiny collide. If you truly believe in free will, Raziel, now is the time to prove it. Kill me now, and we both become pawns of history, dragged down the path of an artificial destiny. I was ordained to assume the role of Balance Guardian in Nosgoth, while you were destined to be its savior. But the map of my fate was redrawn by Mobius, and so in turn was yours.
This is madness.
Fight it, Raziel. This moment does not have to be an ending. It can become a prelude.
I can't.
You can, Raziel. Look inside and see that it is so. You have the power to reshape our inevitable futures. Poor William.
What is this?
History, a pause, a paradox, Raziel. Even now, the time stream strains to divert itself, finding its old course blocked by your refusal to destroy me. The future is reshuffling itself to accommodate your monumental decision. This is where we restore ourselves, Raziel, and reclaim our intended destinies. It may yet be possible for me to assume my role as Balance Guardian and return the pillars to their rightful inheritors.
To the vampires. And this is the destiny you have urged me to discover. I don't know what game you and Mobius are playing, Kain, but I refuse to be your pawn. Unlike you, I still revere whatever shred of humanity I've managed to preserve. You will not use me as the instrument of your messianic delusions.
Very well, Raziel. I'll not ask you to trust me. Your truths are for you to discover alone.
Humble words for one who presumes to teach me a lesson at every turn.
And continue your journey and learn your own lessons, Raziel. Remember, Mobius led you here, but you walk away unfettered. A champion of free will and conqueror of false histories. There is much more for you to unearth, if you have the heart for the truth and the will to see it.
Oh, we do have the will and the heart to see it. So yeah, if you didn't catch what all that meant, every time this happens, because, you know, in the game's lore and in most depictions of time, history just plays out over and over and over and over and over again. So every time this has happened, we have killed Kain there without a choice. We've been forced to. And for the first time since Mobius changed the destiny of time by causing Kain to go back in time and kill William, we have changed it. So now things are gonna hopefully pan out differently to what they should do. But of course, whether or not we should have killed him to save everything, or whether he is truly just manipulating us, is something yet to be seen or found out. Get out of here, you little bitches. So yeah, it's basically who is truly the one who's trying to manipulate us? Is it Mobius and the God, or is it Kain? Only time will tell, unfortunately. Well, I know the answer, but some of you might not, so can't spoil it. Can you not hit me, please? I'm just trying to get out of here. I'm gonna beat you up, so that way I can get some soul energy. Give me that soul. And we can continue onwards, hopefully, to the time streaming chamber in order for us to, like I said before, travel back to the past to speak to Janos Aldrin and find out what really is true and what isn't. Ow! Can you little doggos go away? The annoying part about those little dogs is they have an annoying hitbox. Ow! Smack you on the floor. Get out of here. You should be, I was gonna say, she should be ready to die. Let's get that soul. Like I said, we want as much help as possible. There we go, get him. It'd be cool if you could pick up the guns in this game, but sadly we can't. Kinda sucks that we can't, but oh well, oh well. Open on in. Trying to make sure you go in the right way in this area can be a bit tricky. It does confuzzle you a little bit sometimes, or at least me. No matter how many times I play the game, sometimes I'm like, am I going the right way? But of course there are little cues like these little fights and things like that that let you know, hey, you are going the right way. And pipe it. Gimme your soul. I said gimme your soul. Thank you. But I hope everyone is doing okay today. I am feeling pretty good. Just been chilling, vibing, doing household chores. Pretty much all I ever do, to be honest. Cook, clean. Occasionally go out and record videos for you guys. That's my life at the minute. But yeah, oh, I just realised where we are. We are pretty much at the end of the area, to be fair. Well, at least the first part of the area. And should be a cutscene. Not, oh no, not yet. Hang on. Once we shoot this, there should be a cutscene.
Ah, yes. I like that look on your face, Mobius. You really don't know what to do now, do you, old man? Here you are, caught without your damn staff. I suspect things aren't progressing quite as you'd hoped. You're not used to the fly turning to confront you in your web, are you?
Kain's devious influence has poisoned your mind, Razio. Now you see betrayal everywhere, even in your closest allies.
We were never allies, Mobius. Conspirators, perhaps. Briefly.
Why did you not kill Kain when you had the chance? He was at your mercy.
Precisely. I had a choice, and I chose mercy. And now I know your sordid little secret. The significance of that displacement I felt when the two Reavers came together. Strangely enough, I was enlightened by the devious Kain, not by you. In fact, I've learned much more than you counted on. I understand now how you've tried to manipulate all of history for your own personal gain. But now all your little schemes are whirling in ruin around you, aren't they? All because I chose to exert my will for once, rather than obey the demands of sorcerers and spirits and demons, all singing the same tiresome refrain, kill Kain. I'm setting my own path from here, Mobius. I intend to discover the truth behind all of this.
But you condemn us all with this impetuous act.
Hardly impetuous. It took all the will I could muster. Has my refusal to kill Kain reshuffled your carefully stacked deck of cards?
You really think that you're exercising your free will, Raziel? You're simply Kain's servant.
I do not serve Kain. I merely did not kill him.
Raziel, do not forget your purpose here. You are destined to be the savior of Nosgoth.
Oh, I'm sick of hearing that particular phrase. As for saving Nosgoth, so far I see precious little reason to bother. And I'll choose my own purpose from here on out, Time Streamer. Right now, I choose to manipulate you for a change. Go. In there.
What are you doing?
Come, Mobius. You're a cunning serpent. You'll piece it together, I imagine. This error is of no further use to me. You will operate this device to provide me passage. I want to see the world in a simpler time, before the Sarafan began their crusade.
And what about Kain? You're leaving your core behind.
You kill him if it's so damned important.
You need only touch the 2 poles of the switch, and the device will transport you. But I urge you to reconsider.
You've lost your powers of persuasion, old man. Rot here and forget me.
And here we are, propelled into the past. Or are we?
Even as I emerged from that infernal time-streaming chamber, I suspected treachery. The stronghold was vacant, derelict, and abandoned.
Yeah, now we face new types of enemies, these little demonic-looking creatures. And they are actually kind of a problem. They're a lot tougher than the standard humans we tend to face. Like, a lot tougher. They are a problem. There are different types, different abilities, different strengths, and those little green dudes are probably the easiest of them. But those little thunder zappy ones, these ones are a problem to deal with. One thing that always kind of bugs me is, ow, we're gonna pick this up, ow, and take some health from him if he, oh, that dodge by us. Yeah, the one thing that's always kind of bugged me is that when you end up fighting, like coming across the guards and the demonic, weird-looking creatures fighting, the moment you come up, they all stop fighting each other and all just target you. Which I always found rather annoying. And a little odd, because it's like, bruh, really? You're gonna... Ow. Can you... Ah! This is what I mean. Leave me alone! Ah! Doesn't help that I accidentally picked that up. But yeah, see, they are not... Ow! They're not easy to take care of. Run back, run back. Hopefully there's a... Yeah, there it is. Okay, well, we'll just take care of these guys in the spirit realm for now. But yeah, they do follow us into the spectral realm, which is annoying. But when they're in the spectral realm and we kill them, it does give us a soul. But they do take a lot more hits in the spectral realm from the Reaver. The Reaver is not as powerful in the spectral realm. eat all them souls. But yeah, like you saw, they can be a bit of a problem, especially when paired with humans who all just gang up on you. And you can quite quickly get taken down from full health. We weren't full health, but we still got taken down rather quickly. But other than that, most of the demon-esque creatures we fight aren't too much of a problem. Like I said, these little green ones aren't that much of a problem. But the electric guys are. There are these also like a lot bigger guys. We don't often encounter those ones, but they take a lot of hits and do quite a bit of damage, so they're more of a problem than the electric ones. But regardless, every enemy, every one of these demonic style enemies is a problem. Obviously when the Reaver's full, they're not really that much of a problem. You just smack our way through them nice and quickly. Let's grab this sword because I see a guy and I don't think there are going to be any demons in here. So now's the perfect time for us to get some health. Sir. How did he block that? The hell? And head chop. There we go. Let's grab some health. Full health. Just what we need. Because these little demon boys, we need as much health as we can get. Oh, one thing I don't think I mentioned, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but we do get... see, look how much damage that one hit did to us. Yeah, we do get health when we get a Reaver upgrade. Our health does increase. Our health is a decent bit bigger than what it was at the start of the game. I don't know if you guys noticed. But that is a good, a very good thing. Unlike in the first one where we have to collect health upgrades to upgrade our health, we do not need to do that in this game. We just need to find Reaver upgrades. This is always the bit that kind of gets me confuzzled. I can't remember if it's... Yeah, it should be this way we go. Put that down, just in case. Yes! And this is how you know you're going the right way, when things like this happen. Right, you can... Ow. Get away from me, you little electric dude. But yeah, see, look how much health they've been taking off us. Like I said, they are a problem.
If I had any doubts about the era I now occupied, this grotesque tableau certainly eliminated them. For here was Mobius, long since murdered by Kain, lionized and beatified as the martyred leader of his bloodthirsty crusade. And if I required further evidence, I needed only to behold the gruesome trophy Mobius held aloft. The severed head of Vorador. The final triumphant kill of Mobius's cutthroat mob. His execution marked the annihilation of the vampires. Far from channeling me into Nosgoth's past, Mobius had propelled me over a century into its ghastly future. The intent behind this little detour was unmistakable. Having failed to make me his obedient assassin, Mobius intended to keep me ignorant of my true destiny, which clearly lay in Nosgoth's past. While his deception only reinforced my purpose, Mobius had effectively stranded me here. This left me no course but to explore the era I now occupied and see what changes the century had wrought following Kain's ill-fated decision. Perhaps time had cleared a path for me into the mountains, where I might unearth more clues behind the mystery of Janos Ordren.
Ugh, more of these little bitches. But yeah, poor Vorador, I always found it rather a little sad that poor Vorador is just dead and used as a little bit of a trophy on the statue of Mobius. Ugh. Poor Vorador. But yeah, like you said, that pretty much marked the end of the vampires. The only one living would be Kain, of course. But Kain does, I guess you could say, resurrect the vampires in some form of fashion with us slot into the more distant future. Can I? Okay. Ow. I was hoping we could have just gone past them, but clearly not. Let's take care of these guys then. Can you? Thank you. But yeah, you see what I mean by these guys are a problem. They deal so much damage and take quite a fair few hits, especially if the Reaver isn't charged. And trying to kill them with normal weapons takes quite a while as well. There we go. Now we can absorb all these souls. We need to go back into the real world from out of the spectral realm, and we need to get ourselves the Light Reaver, because we do need the Light Reaver in order to open up the door that we used to get in here. I was gonna say there should be a light pool over here, if I'm not mistaken. Let's grab this bad boy. So yeah, now we are basically wanting to find a way to get back to the past instead of being stuck in the future, because like Raziel said, we need to discover our true destiny, the destiny that was or was not, depends on how the story plays out, we'll find out, altered by Mobius and Kain.
Raziel.
What pathetic charade is this now, Mobius?
No charade, Raziel. Only the entreaties of this martyred spirit.
Your pleas mean nothing to me after all your deceit. You have propelled me into Nosgoth's future, Mobius, and left me stranded here.
I am truly sorry, Raziel, but it was necessary. Consider it the last valiant act of a doomed man. You have strayed from your purpose, and now behold the result. Gaze upon the wasteland you and Kain authored together.
I fail to see how I'm responsible.
You spared Kain, and by doing so, you have released a multitude of horrors upon this world. I can accept that Kain has murdered me, as the Time Guardian. I foresaw that incident long before it occurred, and I take some small comfort in the fact that Kain remains the sole survivor of his vile breed. But you have single-handedly made my sacrifice meaningless.
Your argument is disingenuous, Time Streamer. I cannot see how killing or sparing Kain's future self would alter these events. This wasteland was created by Kain's original refusal at the Pillars. Amidst all these twists and turns, that event has never changed. You are cunning, Mobius, but I think you've gotten tangled in your own web.
As Kain clings to his precious seat of power, the Pillars sink into a mire of decay, dragging all of Nosgoth down with them.
I don't think this has anything to do with the Pillars, or Kain's failure to sacrifice himself. I think you're simply afraid, because you don't know what he's up to. He's a wild card, isn't he? And you don't want his influence in your game. Which is why you wanted me to eliminate him. Well, now that he survived, you have no idea what's coming, do you? Maybe, for the first time in your entire life, you're terrified that he may have truly found a third option out of the dilemma you orchestrated for him.
Kain's lies have addled your mind. Leave this place and trouble my spirit no more.
If you even are a spirit, you've forgotten. I have a way to tell for sure. If you're willing to risk it. I didn't think so. Either way, you lose.
So yeah, he really did just try and tell us, oh, we're the reason that all of this has happened, when, like Raziel said, all of this was supposed to have happened because of Kain's refusal at the Pillars, and although we didn't kill him when destiny or time wanted us to, why would that have changed what the world would become? You know? Killing, like you said, killing his future self would not alter the events that come. They would just change what comes after everything we went through and the future he created. So, yeah, bro was trying his... Oh, no, we don't need to... Oh, okay, I was wrong. Bro was trying his damn best to make us feel like we were responsible all of a sudden, when that's not how this has ever worked, my guy. It's not how it has ever worked. But as you can see, the world is kind of ruined. But it was always gonna be this way, whether or not we spared Kain. It's just, like Raziel said, he does not like the fact that he no longer knows what happens. And that maybe Kain has found a way out of the dilemma. Of course, we can't be sure. It could genuinely just be that Mobius is a good guy and wants to save Nosgoth. And we could be completely wrong. But, like I said, only time will tell. Playing the story a bit more further, finding a few more things out. We are headed to hopefully find a way forward. But, of course, first there's going to be more cutscenes. I believe we're going to encounter some more info at the pillars, which, as you can imagine, are probably even more decayed now than what they were when we first came here and saw them start to decay. But who really knows? I can't fully remember. Like I said, it's been a little while since I played the story. This is serving as a, I want to play this game for you guys, but I also do want a refresher on all the story and lore before whatchamacallit, let's get the title Reaver. Before I play Defiance, just because, like I said, the game's a little complex with the wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. But here's another one of the new demon-style things. I believe they shoot acid at us, which is always nice. Always what you want. But everything is kind of ruined, as you can see. Bridges are wrecked, that pillar had fallen down, which, to be fair, provides us with quite a nice little shortcut. But the world is being ravaged by these little demon things, it would seem. Ah! Can you... Ah! Trying to avoid getting... There we go. Oh no, there's a third. I'm trying to avoid being killed here. I don't want to be put back into the spectral realm. But I'm thinking we have a cutscene now. I could be wrong. Like I said, it could be at a different point that we have it. Oh, no. By the looks of things, we do.
These were the pillars so familiar to my blighted eyes. But now that I had begun to learn their true significance, I regarded the pillars' destruction with a new, enlightened sense of horror. And I questioned now whether Kain's simple refusal, his mere ambition, could truly have caused such devastation. I felt that some darker influence was at work here. As I approached, I discerned the spirit of Ariel, bound here now for more than a century.
Forever am I bound, hope abandoned, my spirit tethered to this place. What destroyed the circle could not touch me, for I was newly dead and beyond harm's reach. I alone was spared the descent into madness, and Kain alone was spared the pain of death. When Nepraptor's poison seized Kain even in the safety of the womb, much more than just his destiny was lost. All of Nosgoth lost balance. Consider us now, both of us less than we once were. I, pure but insubstantial, and Kain, terribly real, but corrupted.
Your imprisonment here has deranged you, spirit. You fixate on Kain because you believe he is the tether that binds you here. We both know he is not the author of your agony. The pillars were subverted by dark forces, invited by the Guardians themselves. The more I learn of your circle, the more I see a tangle of nested manipulations.
Kain handed them their victory. They sought to topple the pillars, and he was their willing instrument.
Or was he their unwilling pawn? Would it blunt your wrath to know that Kain's dilemma was calculated to bring the pillars down, regardless of the choice he made? And that the devastation would have been even greater had he chosen the path you would prescribe for him?
You are a subtle, deceitful creature. But your clever arguments do not absolve Kain. He must die for the pillars to be restored. There is no other way.
Then consider this more ominous possibility. What if Kain's death does not restore the pillars? Consider that it may simply be too late, that this world may be beyond redemption, and that you may be bound here eternally.
We said nice try, bitch.
Why do you hound me, demon? You can see that I am captive here. Show me some mercy.
Like the mercy you showed your fellow Guardians when you set Kain on them? Or the mercy you showed Kain when you kept him ignorant of his destiny while you used him as the scourge of the Circle? Or perhaps like the mercy you showed your beloved Naprapta when you made him Kain's first kill?
You are cruel. Why do you torment me?
I'm merely looking for answers, Ariel. Very well. I'll leave you in peace. But know this about you and this purgatory from which you long to escape. You're merely at the threshold.
Yeah, she really is only at the beginning of her torment here, considering she is still at the pillars in the first game, which takes place quite a bit further ahead in time than where we are now. I always have felt sorry for Ariel. Ugh, this was the demon I was on about, the big boy that, there we go, managed to beat him, that takes a lot of hits and deals a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Yeah, I love this game's lore. I love the series, franchise's lore. It's just so interesting to me. And I remember the first time I played through the first and the second game, learning all the lore, figuring things out, being confused, but also wanting to, you know more and not be confused. It was just, it was brilliant. And even now, when I know the lore of this game, although some of it does slip my mind a little, it's still so interesting and fascinating to me. Like I said, I love this game and this franchise. It really is probably top 5 favorite franchises. It's up there with Mortal Kombat for me, that's for sure. And, you know, if you've been on this channel a while, you know I love me some Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is the shit. Although, MK1 wasn't exactly stellar, but still. I still love Mortal Kombat. But let's go on in, continue forward, maybe talk to little Squiddy Boy. See what he has to say. If he has anything to say. Although, according to him, he is eternal, so he should still be here. Probably waiting for us, probably gonna yell at us and tell us off for not killing Kain like he wanted. We are gonna ignore these little green demons and just mosey on past them all. We don't need to deal with them right now. We just gotta go get in there. Oh, well, never mind. I was like, well, just go past them, and the game said no. You cannot. Oh, although it stopped the other ones from coming forward, actually, so never mind that. We could ignore those ones. It's just the game was like, nah, you gotta fight at least 2 to get in here. You know, can't let us off that easy.
Raziel, the failed assassin. You had Kain at your mercy, but lacked the courage to fulfill the act. And now you see the wasteland wrought by the tyrant's hand, by his selfish decision to preserve his own life, even when it meant sacrificing the whole world. This is the fate of Nosgoth, as long as Kain remains alive.
An ironic condemnation, given this guilty sin. One would think you'd torn down the pillars single-handedly. What are you trying to obliterate as you drag your loathsome body through this chamber? And why, as Nosgoth descends into madness and misery, do you appear to thrive? Things in this world, I am learning, are rarely what they seem. You, apparently, are no exception.
I am the engine of life, the source of Nosgoth's very existence. I am the hub of the wheel, the origin of all life, the devourer of death.
Or maybe you're just hungry. Could it be as simple as that? Wouldn't that be poetic irony? The great adversary of the vampires turns out to be the biggest parasite of them all.
Do not test my patience, Raziel. I made you, and I will unmake you if I become so inclined.
As your agent, I am beyond death.
There are fates worse than death, Raziel.
Oh, I see you now as you truly are. A cancer, a spooling parasite burrowed deep in the heart of this world.
Go now. Play out your pitiful rebellion and take your place among the destroyed, the used, and the damned. But know this, you are mine for eternity. You have always been, and will always be, my soul Reaver.
So yeah, I do like the interaction they have. It would make sense, you know, everything he says makes sense to me, you know, the whole, what if he is just a parasite who is just hungry because, like he said, he's the devourer of death. And with vampires in charge, or at least Kain's rule in charge, he's not eating as much because no one's really dying. Until he obviously sets us forth onto our brothers and Kain. But we are going to go down through and keep going onwards. I'm going to cut because it's mainly swimming, although every time we, you know, appear here, there are subtle differences in like the water levels, for example. Like there are some little bits of platforming here, but nothing crazy. Right, we just made it back through there. Now we got these little weird looking demon things with weird tiny legs and a giant arm. Luckily they don't pose too much of a threat.
Beyond this edifice lay my sole hope of escaping this demon-infested wasteland. The time-streaming device contained therein offered my only prospect of journeying back into Nosgoth's early history. Unless I discovered some means of breaking the seal, I was condemned to be stranded here eternally.
So yeah, we basically need to find a way to break this open. So we once again will be back this way to hopefully open that door. But for now, we are gonna, like I said, continue on. One of the things I don't think I've mentioned is the reason there are no collectibles in this game is partially to do with unlike the first game where it is full-on open area all the time, this game is, as you can see, somewhat, you know, an open world style-ish, but it is also quite linear in the fact that, you know, with the whole time travel aspect, you can't really go back and forth to areas. So obviously to solve that issue, they decided, you know, no collectibles, otherwise you'd only, oh no, you'd only be able to get certain collectibles within a certain time, and obviously if you miss them, then you've got no way to go back and get them without going and doing a new game. So I do understand why they you know, decided not to give us collectibles, but part of me again does still kind of miss it. You know, part of the first game joy I had was, you know, finding all of the health upgrades and the glyph upgrades. That's one thing I do miss in this game, that we don't get any glyph power-ups, but I can forgive it purely for the fact that we get multiple different Reaver elements. Because that was one thing in the first game that I loved, the fact that we had a Fire Reaver, but was sad that they didn't have time to do the others.
The passage of time had indeed cleared my way forward, enabling me to explore the northern mountains of Nosgoth. I was anxious to discover if some evidence of Janos Audron's existence might still remain.
We can only hope, although considering before we got catapulted into the future, he had been dead for about 500 years or so. It's not looking too good for us. But, like he said, there might be some remnant of his existence left in the world. We just have to find it. And like Kain said, you know, we said to Kain, we want to, you know, discover our own destiny and such. So that is what we will be doing, as you can imagine. We're going to be hopefully figuring out things for our own. Now that destiny has changed and is no longer fixed, thanks to the refusal of us to kill Kain, of course, which, like he said, one thing I guess I forgot to point out is that it was only possible due to the fact that there were two Reavers. Obviously the one that is tethered to us, and then the actual physical blade itself, which allowed for us to effectively change history and rewrite the future, hopefully. But how long that lasts, who really knows? Can you... There we go. Ow. Eat this. And stop. No. I hate how much they block. And there's not really a way to bypass their blocking. You kind of just have to keep hitting them. And hope that you burst through. Or at least I don't know how you're supposed to. I mean, maybe you can just get behind them, but it's not really that easy. Alright, let's pull this lever. Ah, right, okay, it's a hold. Yes, it was a hold. And now we are going on into the next area. That little jump he did.
Here I discovered the quaint hamlet of Ustenheim, now long abandoned and collapsing into ruin. Legend claimed that Janos Audron terrorized its villagers until the Sarafan hunters ferreted him out and destroyed him. If there was any truth to the old tales, the lair of the infamous vampire would not be far away.
Now that we're in the nice little hamlet that Janos Audron allegedly terrorized, we are getting ever closer to finding out more information. But unfortunately, that more information will have to wait until next episode, because that is going to be the end of today's episode. We've done another nice long one. With the Legacy of Kain franchise, you know, you kind of got to record them for quite a while if you want to make any progress, really. But I hope you've enjoyed today's episode as much as I've enjoyed playing through it. Like I say, every episode I love this franchise, so recording it for you guys is a joy. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and hopefully I will see you in the next video or episode in general. Bye!